We're back with more stylish skaters. This is the most stylish skaters in history, part two. We got some heavy hitters to cover today. If I do this with my beanie, have that insane reservoir tip like a Trojan man, it might be a reference to someone we may be talking about today. You might know it, a 2005 video called Baker 3. Yeah, it's about time we got into him. As far as holding a mirror up to style, we'll talk about ancient philosopher Diogenes, a man who rejected all earthly pleasures to live in a barrel and shit in the street like a dog, making fun and laughing at every other philosopher of the time period. As one story goes, Alexander the Great walked up to him and said hello, and Diogenes responded with, "Sir, you're standing in my light," to the most powerful warlord and conqueror in the world at the time. That is style. Another thing is I was a little fearful for my life recently. I thought the cult of Tom, hold on, fuck this thing. I thought the cult of Tom was going to try to put me 6 feet under, possibly end my life, for calling him a little bit overrated. A little bit. Guy's still one of the greatest of all time. But I was having visions of a bandana with the Union Jack logo printed on it, covered in chloroform, coming down on my mouth and nose in the middle of the night. Luckily, that hasn't happened yet, but you got to watch out for all cults, even if they're following one of the most stylish skaters to ever do it. Start this with Antwuan. I'd love to hear an argument about him not having one of the greatest styles in history. The guy is amazing. The word nonchalant should just be a photo of him doing a no-slide pretzel. This varial heel flip really shows he's verging on irreverence on how well he can land his tricks. Anyone else that's tried a varial heel flip should be ashamed of themselves. Illegal double flip makes it look beautiful. The slow flip on the inward heel. I love the half cab flip, how he catches it and then spins the rest. Not sure how that's possible. He loves Galil Mamalu, and I think that was a little testament to him on the nollie back lip. Love Mr. Mamalu, a style god. Fakey Crooks, the huge triple X Thrasher shirt, the fakey flip in which he doesn't even move his body. Pure art. We'll see Desarmo do one of the other best fakey flips on flat in this video. Fakey double flip, who else can do it making it look that well? I don't know. And the switch frontside flip, not only is it ginormous, but the way he caught it and the way he rolled out was just a thing of beautiful style. I like this Baker as a Death Wish video part. That nollie back heel's huge, but I think he really shined in Baker 3. Everyone wishes they got more from him. Beautiful switch big spin, the AM shuffle. And here's Baker 3. When this video came out, I don't know who else has shocked the skate world more than this that came out of nowhere. I think he's 16 years old right here. I was also 16 when this came out. There's the reservoir tip beanie and one of the greatest tray flips ever. We're going to watch that a few times. The way it flips, the way he catches it, the excels, and the lack of trying is just so beautiful. He ends this line with a fakey heel flip. I mean, when this video came out, I was looking forward to Reynolds and Greco and Ellington, but I think Antwuan stole the show for me. Even on the first viewing, that kickflip crooks, how far he goes, the way he caught it. The no-slide 270 shove makes it look good on a hubba. Nollie frontside shove it, I'd love to see one that's better than that. And, of course, that no-slide pretzel, that should be the definition of nonchalance, the way his back foot hung off. I like the way this is edited to the Dirty Harry beat and how well he lands both those tricks in that line. He is a style god. It's not even how easy he makes it look, it's also how well he performs his maneuvers. So it's a mix of ease and power, I'd say. But he floats like a butterfly, and he doesn't really sting like a bee. He just heel flips really close to that rail down Wilshire 15. So sick. This nollie crooks. The rail ends early. He didn't even try. And, of course, what he did down Carlsbad, the way he lands on the uphill landing, the nonchalance. The spot doesn't exist anymore. He'll never be shown up. One of the greatest tricks down that spot that will ever go down. Dipping our toes into the 80s, here's Natas Kaupas. This is someone everyone who skates should know. Him and Mark Gonzales changed street skating forever. A huge ollie, even by today's standards, and he doesn't even have a goddamn nose on his board. Love the way he combines a surf style with kind of the aggressiveness of a hockey player. Charging towards the goal. Look at that slash, the way he kicks up the dirt. And it's so sick. The way he shuffles here like Bam on the curb is literally pure art. I can't watch that enough. Big brute board slide. Love the way he pops out with his hand. He's also a ballerina on flat ground. He has some of the greatest frontside wall rides ever. It looks like he just took a big wave at Waimea. A great looking Bertleman, and I love how big that ollie was. The way him and Gons approach skating at this time period. And there's a few other style gods from this time period, but I think how far they pushed it while keeping it stylish, and both of them have such a different style, it's ridiculous. We'll get to Gonzo in a later video. The Natas spin. I'd love to see one better. I don't think anyone even attempted one for 20 plus years after that one. Big lip slide, skating like now. That was sick. And then this rail is legit. If you hit that today, I'd think you're pretty good at skating. No, Natas is doing it in 89. The no-comply board slide on the Tootsie Roll, and then that's the Javante Turner tray flip spot, but Natas floats a kickflip first, so sick. The fence bash. Sometimes 80s filming can make the shot look better. I like how Peralta films Ray Barbee coming up a little bit later, but absolutely dip Smith grind. The old school board, the rails, there's the hockey player thing right there, and just one of the greatest frontside wall rides ever. The filming also makes it look even sicker, but it's the way his feet hung off. Cyrus Bennett, an East Coast legend. I think this guy's one of the greatest out. John's vid helped me get through COVID with that bullshit with the mask and having to stay at home. Look at how powerful his push is, but he also has this thing with his feet when he flicks and does manuals that is just a thing of beauty. The way they're on the board, look at that. That should be in an art museum somewhere as how to skate with style. The flick over the chain is ridiculous, the way he caught that. Ollie in, I'm not even going to use the rest of that. And his manual game is second to none. The quick flick on that was so sick. Look at how his body's positioned. His hood comes on that back tail. The flick out on this slaps his back foot. Only goofy footers, I think, have that steez. That Smith could not be dipped anymore. But only goofy footers I seem to have this steez like Julian Stranger with their feet. Maybe it's because I'm regular, but even when I watch regular footers in a mirror, look at that flick out right there. It doesn't look as sick as Cyrus or Julian Stranger or anybody else goofy footed with that good of style. Can't believe he flicks out on Blubba. Makes it look good. Liu Kang kickflip right there. Doesn't quite land it, but still so sick. Back to his manual game. I love how he's flowing right here. Just looks like so much fun to be on the board. He's kind of got that light foot thing like Kenny Anderson, who we'll see later. Love the way he pops out of this bump, out of this fakie Manny. So sick. And he just takes Flushing out here. The backsmith, last second back tail shove it. The impromptu Wally on that line. And I love the way he dips this Smith. I don't think it gets any better against the fence. So rad, Cyrus. Thank you for existing. And being in such a heavy lineup video like John's vid and to shine this hard with the Pantera shirt on, I think really shows how good Cyrus is. And we'll end it with this. Just insane the way he lands, the way he rolls off the curb, his arms. He looks like he's in disbelief. Jeremy Wray, from 94 to 97, he was one of the greatest skaters on the planet. He continued to be good after that. This is Plan B's Revolution, 1997. Plan B was already a formal shell of itself at this time period, but Jeremy is skating with so much power and pop. And he has a certain way of doing tray flips and frontside 360s like no one else. That fakey hard flip was so good. Look at his pop on flat ground. Heel flip over the lunch table to back heel. Love the way he lands here. Casual. He could have been on stereo, I think, at this time. He's a little bit too gnarly and a little bit too much stair skating to be on stereo, but I feel like he fit that vibe from the time period. And we will get to Jason Lee. Huge bump to nose grind. That was insane. This bump to 50. That was just ginormous. I can't believe that. Lands with style. And the frontside cab, rarely seen downstairs. Jeremy makes it look good, bolts it, arms are looking good. Another insane fakie hard flip. I love the catch on it. And he might be the curb cut champion. That back heel was just insane. He has an older ollie over a huge one. And secondhand smoke, 1994. You should know this line. Look at that insane tray flip. The Sal 23s. I think what Jeremy's bringing to the table is a refinement. Why I'm bringing up the stereo guys, to not do the gnarliest tech tricks, but rather to skate around with style. He could have done a better flip trick here, but with the way he ends this line frontside flipping down Carlsbad, just doing any flip trick with the pressure is insane. And I think he's got the most interesting setup for frontside flips. Someone like Reynolds does something similar, but he looks like he's on a 7.5 right there, a little toothpick, and he keeps his foot on just like that when he sets up for the frontside flip, like he's going to do a back heel. It's just so stylish and sick, and he pops this way better than Chris Markovich's kickflip. No shade to Markovich, but that was just so much better. Wow, that line's just nutty. He takes out this double set that Gino and some guys skated in Mouse, and I love this heel flip right here. Just a huge boost right there. It looks like he hit a turbo strip in midair. And not the most technical line here, but I think his pop is just so sick, I had to include that line. 94, you don't think of skaters skating this fluid and this poppy, but Jeremy was doing it at the time. That's why he's a fucking legend. That nollie backside flip at EMB was sick. A huge shove it. I can't believe that over the planner. This line's sick. It's a really weird looking tray flip, but I think you can see how good he was at the time by the way he still rolls out of it. It flipped more like a varial flip, and it came all the way around like 270. Skating in Canada here. Love these frontside 360s. They're just unmatched. Maybe Westgate. Shove it 5.0 on Hubba. That was way sick. And then you'll end it out with this. So stylish. The way he slides out of it. Power slides around. It does not touch his hands. That was so sick. We're gonna go into PJ now. You should know who PJ is. When Wonderful Horrible Life came out, it changed everybody. He was on Element, I think, before, but it seemed like he came out of nowhere. So the hard flip revert, the switch varial heel flip revert, two extremely tech tricks flowing, and then he misses the kick flip. That's just so stylish. His tray flips on flat are amazing. I love how he is able to shifty some of his flat ground flip tricks. The tray flips never get old. The Tom Penny beanie in the back pocket, the excels, all of it's stylish. And he's in no hurry, of course. If I was this good, I would just skate around, do every flip trick too. The nollie cab flip was so good. The way he slid around, and then an easy crooks pop out there. Love it the way he tail slides and 270s out. He kick flipped into that one. He does a switch flip tail slide 270 later. That's just insane and really sorry. Love this. Love to shove it into that late, and then the way he nollied out of that nose slide is extremely stylish and powerful. The tail slide on the van, the switch tray flip. Man, this is so good. This is when I was coming up. I was probably 14 when this came out. The switch flip shifty, so good, and the way he's able to operate on that, so stylish. I love the no push and the way he power slides on the land. And of course, we'll end with this amazing line. Fakie flip up, cab bigger flip, the beanie, the big baggy sweatshirt just fits the time period, switchback heel, and of course they end this part with a flat ground tray flip. I'm perfectly fine with that. It was so beautiful. And let's get into his really sorry part. Silence is golden. PJ is just Sikh as fuck, if you know what's going on with him recently. But Ray Barbee, an absolute style icon, public domain. He is smoother. Look at him here. He's smoother than your girl covered in KY after a fresh Brazilian wax. His no-comply game is unmatched. The half-cab boneless plant. Look at how sick he is. If you pour water down a slope, you will find that it finds the least resistant and most stylish way down anything, and over time, slowly will eat away the thickest of bedrock. That is Ray Barbee, the amazing slappy to start out this line. The no-comply game is just seriously unmatched. Who's a better no-comply artist on this earth? The way he's flowing around here. I know when I first saw this, obviously not in the 80s because I wasn't fucking born until 88, but when I did see this, especially this intro to ban this, I had to start skating flat ground differently. I had to approach everything differently. It just looks so fun and fluid. This intro is one of the most iconic things in skateboarding history. The way he's just doing his thing in the sandlot fit, the cuff pants, the cons, it's just amazing. His backside 360 reverts on flat. I don't think there's anybody doing anything smoother than this today, let alone back then. As good as Natas and Gons are, they're totally different. Where Ray shows up, his no-comply reverts are a thing of beauty. He just flows like water. I don't know how else to put it. The guy's amazing. I love this session on these stairs here, all filmed in a day. I have heard that he wore the same clothes 3 days in a row, but either way, look at that. The nollie bigger spin, the way he's just carving and coasting, he's smoother than his own music. Cardiel, going from the smoothest guy, Ray Barbee, to a balls to the wall. It's our first edition of a photo to this and not video. Look at how crooked out he is. Anti-hero cow, one of the greatest videos in history. Even the way he bails is balls to the wall, gnarly, and it looks so stylish. I can hear the Brother Lynch song in my head right now. His footage in this is ridiculous. The ranch shirt, the shorts, the way he corks out on this, just so legendary. Cardiel is a testament to adrenaline. That slam was insane, but a testament to adrenaline itself and how styles can persevere through your blood pumping and your heart going. This car wash into that is insane. We got to show Mark's bail on it because Mark doesn't get enough credit for how absolutely gnarly he was. Slides on his chin right there. Just the way Cards approaches everything, a little Sector 9 action before Sector 9 was a thing. The back lip, the way he handled it, the back tail. He just looks like he could fall at any moment, and I think that's one of the most compelling parts of his style. The way he takes his frontside 5 at Yuba City is so sick. Cards will always be one of my favorites. The way he ollies over and takes his hill and eats shit, you just never know what's coming next, and I think someone like that transfer at Burnside was insane. Someone that you can't guess on is just amazing to watch at all times. Sight unseen, his part in this is amazing. Look at his arms right here. That is the definition of good style on transition. Maybe good style on anything. He puts a clinic on here at Ripon. Look how tweaked that is. Look at how much he bends his knees when he lands. Out there in Davis doing the 50 gap way before some Pretty Sweet or whatever when Alex Olson did it. Even when he falls again, he's stylish. The Smith grind is legendary. Look at how good that was. The way he popped out of it like it was transition. The switch slide there over the hump, the front board on the Janowski spot. This Smith grind, look at how chunky. There's nothing on that coping. Fuck Salba and his stupid-ass sauce. Nose blunt in Arizona. This is one of the most iconic parts of all time in my eyes. And without a doubt, I mean, check this 50-50. He's skating all that transition, and then he just lays into that 50, goes into the street. Wade Desarmo, an absolute style god, Toronto's finest. Canadians are some of my favorite people on earth. This is his parental advisory part from DGK. The quality sucks. I couldn't find a better one. It looks like it's stretched out. But look at this tray flip on flat. He will do a better one at the same exact spot. That's the second best tray flip he's ever done on flat on film. The front 360 is powerful yet stylish. He's relaxed like Antwuan. He has a little bit of a different approach where everything looks very textbook, maybe like P-Rod, but he has so much more style than P-Rod. The way he didn't even have to balance that kickflip into the nose grind. Here's the other rivaling fake flat ground fakie flip. I don't know which one's better, but I love both of them. Him, Antwuan, the cab back nose blunt, so good, Wade. Wade is absolutely one of my favorites. Nollie flipping early out of a nose grind. The kickflip front 5-0, 180 out. Heel flip into a back nose blunt in Sacramento. That trick was insane. And the way he hard flips into this, again, doesn't have to balance. His balance meter is always perfectly in the middle. The big switch inward heel, the way he caught that, the way he flipped that, so good. Got to have some Canadians on this. Front shoving out of front feebles. Who else does that? I'm not sure. And then, of course, the switch Smith grind flip out. I don't know if I've seen anyone else do that since. And we need to look at this trick again. The way he pops out of that, the way he flips into that. Oh my God, what a style. God, and this frontside flip, I don't think there's anything more compelling. The way he kick flips and then full rotates around, that was so good, Wade. And of course his part, and it's official. I think this is his best part. This line at Sands, this is the best flat ground tray flip of all time. It's definitely Wade's best. I'd love to hear or see one better. Maybe that Antwuan one, that's a good point. The kick flip back nose grind, that was so good. This trick, the way he comes out late on the last 180 there, I don't think anyone's doing that kickflip in on that trick. The switch crooks, look at how casual he is. The big-ass baggy clothing, the tall tee, the giant switch heel flip over that couch. You may know this spot. It absolutely took Raleigh out. I didn't put the sound in here because it hurts me to watch it, even though I've seen it 6 million times. Ouch. But the way Wade operates on it, so much different. He's so smooth, silky. The way he goes slow, the switchback Smith there is great. I think the gangster thing fits him great. I don't think he's acting or portraying somebody. There's that tray flip again. We'll see it more. Inward heel up and over and then down that forward block. On his home turf there with the varial heel. Switch varial heel flip. Show me a better one. Or switch varial flip, sorry. Switch tray flip. I love the Scarface here and the way he caught that. So good. Scarface on the shirt. He puts a clinic on LA High here on this rail. Heel flip back Smith. You never see those. You don't think of him as a heel flip guy. And the switch flip, switch front feeble. Wade is a god. We'll end with this, of course. That was so amazing. Christian Hosoi, how could you talk about style without one of the most powerful and stylish tranny skaters in history? I found this high air contest sometime from the 90s, or from the 80s, I'm sorry. Look at how big he's going, but it's more so how well he makes everything look. I can't believe the height mixed with the style. Oh my God. And the way he goes back in on the setup wall is also stylish. It's not just the air for the big air contest. It's everything he's doing at every second on that vert ramp. The guy is just amazing. As much of a kook as he may seem these days. Here's a perfect contest run so you can see in real time just how good he is. Look at how much of the ramp he uses in this line. The way he's able to dance on the coping and blast airs that high. It's kind of ironic. He was in a video called Speed Freaks. If you know, he was under vert ramp smoking out of light bulbs at this time, but he's still absolutely destroying it. Every trick he does is stylish. I don't think there's a single one in this line that isn't perfect style. That McTwist was huge. Frontside ollie, no grab. He doesn't need them. And just the way he operates on the transition with all that power, but he's still so flowy, and there's a little bit of surf style in him. I love all these coping tricks. All of them are gnarly. Oh, that Smith bash was so sick. And the way he smiths and comes out late on that 180. We got to get into Speed Freaks after making fun of him for doing meth. His laybacks are unmatched. They're some of the best. Only Jason Jesse, contentious guy to talk about, may have a better frontside ollie on vert. Look at the style on that. Look at the power. Ah, the way his feet slap his knee pad there. You got to have the Christ airs. He also has the best rocket airs in existence. Nobody's touching this. The way he boned that out. Oh my God, I could watch that on loop forever. That's how a rocket air should be performed, but no one else should ever do it. Another amazing McTwist, and then of course him at Del Mar, 1985. Everybody had a lot of style at this time, but I think Christian was able to shine above everyone else. All those hand plants are just ridiculously stalled in the air for a long time, look great. His laybacks never get old. And of course, this McTwist, look at that boost out of that. Wow. Kenny Anderson, totally different than Christian Hosoi. A light-footed style gnarler here. His part in Pretty Sweet is just amazing. I love this Barcelona line. I talked about this trick coming up in the Busenitz 16-minute video that I did. The half-cab frontside power slide and that back three. Both just incredibly stylish. The way he operates manuals, I don't think there's anyone else like him. The way he can spin out of a back nose blunt and still make it look good. The Breaking Bad spot, that was so sick. I can't believe it. Backsmith, a little refinement, but all style. I think that's JFK. I love the way he backtails. The way he took that in Santa Monica, so good. And he can get crazy here at the Dill spot. Got to have the sugar cane in there. That was all style. While we're here, we'll put Gino in there for a clip. The cab fakie nose manny is insane. The back nose blunt on that Raven spot. I love that. Looks like a tongue. 180 crooks. How often do you see a big spin manny like that? You never see them frontside, and the back tail drop in. That was so good. We're going to 411 issue 40. He has a really good profiles in this. It's not like you were filming for years to stack footage for a 411 profile. Kenny's just so good that a lot of this part is just some of the most stylish, light-footed, well-operated tricks you will ever see. There's the crook from the cover of the video. I like the open shirt. That was hot for the time. That front crooks fakie is just really good looking. And so is that Nollie 180 switch crooks. Here he is putting another clinic on. This is on the Ave bench, the switch crooks, the backsmith, the way he popped out of that 180. You probably saw this in Ted Barrow talking about USC, but we'll watch it again. The nose grind around the corner to pop out is just so good, Kenny. I love how light he is on his feet, how he doesn't stomp. Where Cyrus is still light like this, I think Kenny stays light through the entire stomp of the trick. He doesn't even really stomp. He just eases into everything, whether it's big or small. His hot chocolate part's insane. The Yeah Yeah Yaz song. Look at his foot on this back nose blunt. Look at his back foot, the way you can see the bottom of his shoe. That was so good. He has the best big spins, both switch and regs. And there's another testament to it. He's just tearing it up here in Milan. A lot of gnarly shit has gone down here. Jacopo is one of my favorites for sure. But the way Kenny eases into everything, his back tails, the way his body is when he's sliding, it's just so good. And how long he takes to switch crooks before he manies out. Wow, that was good. Kenny is just one of the all-time. Simple trick, but makes him look amazing. Adio shoes suck, but I love his back tails. That one in Denver was sick. Way he operates that switch nose grind, pop out his arms on the landing. More back tails from Kenny. They never get old. Here's a Joey Brzezinski level tech Manny trick without the shitty style or the Red Bull hat. I love it. And the 180 fakie Manny cab out, that was so stylish. We do have to talk about Jason Lee. For all the good flat ground tray flips we've seen from Desarmo and Antwuan, here's video days. Jason Lee might have the greatest flat ground tray flip in history. This is 1991. Everyone loves this video. If you're a younger guy, you should really check out video days. Spike Jonze shreds it on the filming. It looks so good. That back three was beautiful. The big spin on the bank, the kickflip to late revert, that was so rad. I think Jason Lee is so ahead of his time here in 1991, not just with his clothing or his trick choice, but how he operates every single trick. Love the way he frontside ollies and slides his wheels down. The back nose pick, so sick. Greco tried to show him up at that spot in Glass Carousel, but he did not. Ripping in Paris. I love how this line is filmed right here. I think Spike just killed it, like I said. The 180, the fakie big spin right after, pushing his heart out. He's got one of the best looking pushes. He makes shorts look cool. He even makes high tops look cool. Check this maneuver out. Wow. Little Stevie Williams there. The kickflip back 5-0 to late back tail. That was so rad. And a big feeble for 1991. That was getting sick. Let's check him out in this really underrated Airwalk promo from 1995. The wide shots. Looks like it could be something filmed in Lawrence of Arabia. But I think they're stripping Jason Lee and skating down to its essence here. It's all about everything but how technical you're getting. Just a simple back 180, a really good-looking Swango push, the black and white, the filming, all of it is amazing. I think they did a great job of trying to encapsulate how smooth and how good Jason Lee is. Big ollie right there. You can see the airwalks. Way sick kickflip up, the black and white, the greaser style with the close. Look at how well he caught that. He's wearing the floods well before most other people. Young Ethan Fowler was definitely copying his style, but young Ethan Fowler will make an appearance here, except for post-art bars. He started to suck in That's Life. That 180 was perfect. The fakie tray flip on flat is also perfect. It's not just this video, but it's everything Stereo did at this time period. It's really showing off Jason Lee's ability to just push around, do simple tricks, and make all of them look so good that it doesn't matter that he's doing switch tricks. You can tell how good he is just from his refinement to not have to get tech. Airwalk did go on to be sold in Ross's and not be in a staple in skateboarding, but they were sick at this time. Okay, a visual sound. This is my favorite Jason Lee part. Check out that giant ollie. The jazz, the clothing, the simple shoes. 94 to 97 is really just a special time in skateboarding. That fakie tray flip was perfect. He's not the sleepy casual of Antwuan. He's more just a casual guy he doesn't look like his adrenaline's up like Cardiel. And I appreciate both of them just as much. That was so sick off the curb there. Huge ollie over that. Love when he gets a little bit tech on his Manny tricks, but still has this forefront of making things look good. The grainy footage, the jazz in the background, a visual sound, and tin can folklore are some of the greatest skate videos ever made. I love those. There's that frontside ollie showcase again. Big ollie over that tank thing. He's got a very powerful push. Doesn't need to do anything tech because that's what style gods do. Look at that shove it. That was so good. And the backside flip. Like the way he pumped that frontside 180. He has the best frontside 180s and arguably the best flat ground tray flips. Look at that. There's a showcase of that front 180 again. I love the clothing here. Not too baggy, not too tight. It was a great middle spot. I feel like we had that a couple years ago until the pants thing got out of control with the big boys. But whatever. That's why I love the pass so much. His ollies never get old. And check this backside flip out. Wow, he's rivaling Jeremy Wray there on the curb cuts. Pete Hewitt, we have to talk about Pete, my second favorite tranny guy from back in the day other than Neil Blender. Neil Blender is God, not just a style god, but God. We're going to 411 issue number 33. Look at the way he takes his nose grinds on transition. The Raven trick before Raven was probably even born. I love how he airs the fakie, the switchback nose grind. He handles nude bowl with so much style. Look at that switch carve. Who has it like that? Just Pete. That 5-0 in the shallow was insane with his shaved head. That bash, that will never get old. The Encinitas YMCA. A huge air there. And then how blind he is on that entire spin. I can't imagine trying to get back into that there. And he makes it look so easy. His part in the 88 footwear, weird name, but Destroy Everything Now is so good. He absolutely shreds pools in this. The 5-0 over the death box. The perfect rock and roll. Absolutely decked. No Salba bullshit in this. I don't think many people can skate just like Pete. What's great about his style is obviously his arms and his hands, but I think it's how he's so powerful, regular footed, giving a little representation for us regular foots. Wow, that fakie, he ate shit, and it's still amazing. I can't believe that he can hand plant this well in a fucking swimming pool. That lip slide was insane. He came out perfectly. A little Jason Jesse or Hosoi with how long he holds his hand plants. Love that frontside ollie at burnside. Huge backside air. Huge judo. That was so rad. Giant lip slide. Pete is just one of the gnarliest guys, but he makes it look smooth even though he's going so fast. That tail slide through the corner is sick. Look at him take the death box and the stairs there. It looks like it has about 4 feet of vert. Insane. And then he has the greatest bonelesses in history. You can argue with me on that all you want. I love Gonzales on flats, but that one was so good. We'll end it with him just destroying this insanely gnarly park in Haley, Idaho. This is so anti-hero right here. His arms on that 5-0. The invert, that's such big transition to be skating like this. There's those beautiful bonelesses again. The giant 5-0 on that wall. I can't believe it. And then we'll end this out with the gnarliest 5-0 fakie. Tell me a gnarlier one. Drehobels look beautiful too, who will be on this list later. Going into Modus, we got to talk about Marc Johnson. I forgot his title with his name on it, but whatever. Look at that switch flip down a double set. Mark has this ability to be extremely tech, like his fully flared part, but I think he really shines. Look at that switch tray flip, slaps his feet. His Americas were so sick. He really shines when he's just cruising around and not getting too tech. Although he is a tech god, he is a style god. Look at that switch front tail. The way his arms wrap around his body when he rides switch. The fakie nose manny, fakie manny, fakie ollie up, fakie manny is so sick. He's got a beautiful push. Switch shove it, nose grind revert. Another Ted Barrow spot he tore up on a Thrasher video. The nose grind nollie heel out, the shoes, all of it such a great time period for Mark. This is my favorite frontside nose slide of all time. Maybe Cairo has some almost as good, but that one from the cover of Modus is just a thing of beauty. His man down part, I think he really shines in this. I love the cruisy pushing. I think he's having a lot of fun here and not focused so much on being one of the best that has ever done it. That front blunt is just perfect. This nose grind he takes up this pole is so good. Those Marc Johnson 2s, one of the best shoes ever created. I wish they'd bring them back, but is America dead right now? I don't know. This nollie frontside flip, he seemed like he didn't think he was going to pull it. He's kind of surprised by it, so why not keep going and do one of the greatest flat ground cab flips of all time? He comes out of that nose grind early and the Adidas way before he was legitimately on Adidas, unless he was getting some back in the day. I don't know. The switch tray flip kind of filmed silhouetted, beautiful into the bank. When Mark's refined, that back tail was sick. I feel like he really makes me want to go skate. He looks like he's having a lot of fun. That back three was artistic. I love the back lip up that can't be easy. The nollie flip Manny on that weird spot. The back Smith, he doesn't need to get tech there. This line is just absolute gold. The switch nose Manny, fakey big spin Manny. Look at his steez when he's rolling. Look at his steez when he's pushing. The way he caught that and spun all the way around. So sick. This line's also amazing. Really good back 180 up the curb. I love the shirt with the longer shirt sticking out on the bottom. He operates into the switch frontside or the switch flip Manny here with ease. It looks like it's so easy for him. He makes it look so fun, but above all, he's just so smooth. The way he kicks his foot on pushing. The nollie backside flip is perfect. Maybe not perfect, but I like the style on it. The 5-0 back 180 out looks so good. His back nose bone, look at his arms there. And switch back lip on a table. I think Louis does a great one too, but that one was amazing. The back tail fakie. And you got to end this part with that switch hard flip back tail. It was so gnarly. Switch are pretty sweet. He does a lot of insanely good tricks in this, that back nose blunt, the Bowie song. I mean, we could look at his fully flared part, but I want to look at these more refined parts of his, that beautiful backside flip there. This line's amazing. The fakie 5-0, tray flip out, making the Manchesters the sickest shoe that Lakai ever made. Switch nose grind 180. Look at his push again, his arms, the way he's floating through space and time here. 5-0 fakie, beautiful looking switch 180. I think maybe Tom Penny's are the only better ones on flat. And the insanely tech trick to end that line out. That's not too tech. Front nose, nollie backside flip out. Who else is doing that? Yes, he can Casper in the middle of a manual trick. This is filmed shitty Strobeck style, but it's so good I had to include it. Everything on that, his feet, the toes catching the board, the nose slide nollie flip out. Such a good looking trick. Destroying Jaquan. That's a really big nose grind nollie flip from Mark. And then the style on that board slide to Feeble. Incredible work, Mark. The nose grind nollie backside flip out, the arm covering his face. Look at the flick and the catch on this. Such a good quick clip from Pretty Sweet. The ollie over late frontside big spin. the back 180 late toe flip, and of course this Casper. The cover for Thrasher was so sick. I love how he operates on that spot. A good use of it, a good stylish trick that shouldn't be done too much. Love the way his arms were when he landed that. And he'll pull this out with the front nose slide, nollie back heel out. Such a gnarly trick to do on a rail. That's it for this episode. Obviously, we haven't touched style icons. Even amongst the ones I've mentioned, some of these other guys are just such heavy hitters. Yes, we haven't got to Wenning. We haven't got to Neil Blender. We haven't got to Gons or Busenitz, and we absolutely will. I like how many people left comments and are talking about their favorites with a very opinionated talk that only skaters truly have. Go in the comments and list some people you think should be in here. I'm going to stick to my original list of 70 skaters. I don't want to waver from that. But I do want to include some people that I may have forgot or just didn't even think about, or I thought maybe weren't some of the best. But if you leave some people you like in the comments, I'm going to make like a viewer's choice award or something. And the last thing is I'm going to go into the description of this video and add paragraphs talking about these guys' style to really take some time and reflect on it. I'm an English nerd. I got an English major. I didn't get a job, so I had to become a journeyman plumber. That's a different story. But I would like to write about a paragraph blurb on all these guys we've covered in part 1 and part 2. And once I get some sleep here soon, I will do that. So that's it. We'll get to part 3 later. Yes, Wenning will be in it. That's it.
Oh!